Ramshackle, a very new pilot that came out about a week ago of me writing the script, and is really good. It's a more small-scale pilot compared to all the other stuff that I've talked about on this channel, but it still retains what makes indie animation special, and being able to have fun with its writing. A simple plot about greed and how people less fortunate have to manage to find ways to survive. Anyways, without all out of the way, time to explain Ramshackle in the dumbest way possible. We start off being in a back alley with the three main characters, Stone, Skip, and Vinny, looking for their lost can of beans. Skip asks Vinny if she accidentally threw it out, but she says a scrap would never throw out such a perfect can. By the way, whenever I say the word scrap, I'm referring to what they call in the pilot homeless or poor people. Vinny starts digging through the trash and hears crying. She tells Stone to stop crying, but he says it isn't him, and she pulls out a baby from the trash can. Skip grabs the baby from Vinny before she eats it. Stone asks why they just can't take it to the orphanage, and Vinny yells at Stone saying that the orphanage is no place for a kid. I think that's only partially true. I don't know yet. Let me go live in one real quick.
2 hours later.
They're so poor they ate my arm. Vinny suggests that they take the baby in. Skip asks about what they should name him, and they all agree on the name Maggot. They start walking out of the alleyway to plan their first heist. We get to see the city of Ramshackle with plenty of street performers and luxury all around. They go to a part of the city called Entertainment Square, which is just like Times Square in New York City, with the only big difference being is you don't get stabbed in broad daylight. Skip goes out to teach Maggot how to steal from people, but Stone tells Vinny to come over and asks her how the hell they're gonna raise a baby if they can barely take care of themselves. Vinny reminds Stone that he was once in Maggot's place when they originally found him, and that they have to stick together because in reality they are pretty alone. We cut to Skip teaching Maggot how to distract people by doing the worm, or in his case, the maggot. Skip signals Vinny and Stone to come over to pickpocket their first victim. They pull up on this rich white lady and her daughter and send Maggot in to distract her. She starts shit-talking Maggot and starts scolding her daughter not to mess with the poor and not to mess up her makeup. While they're pickpocketing, Skip tells the lady that she should let off her daughter a bit and to let her express herself. She quickly realizes that she's talking to a bunch of scraps and starts yelling for the police. Vinny covers her mouth, but the cops start coming from the corner, so Maggot literally eats the rich. They come over to congratulate Maggot, but Vinny reminds everyone that they need to come up with something else or they're going to be eating shoes again. Maggot burps up a piece of paper and the other three beat the living shit out of it. There are no tears or holes in this paper. Did they just miss every hit? Skip tells them to stop and they see the paper is actually an invite to our favorite child abuse show, Toddler and Tiaras, rebranded up for this pilot for legal reasons. They question whether they should do it, but once they see the $10 winning prize, they are all for it. So we cut to the baby pageant with the announcer welcoming everyone in. The trio pull up in suits and a dress, somehow. They probably jumped a family off screen, it'll be fine. The announcer starts to name off the contestants. First up is Taylor, who can do a backflip only when you're not watching. Then there's Jaden, who can do telepathy only on himself. Jaden's parents threaten to send him to the void if he doesn't win. Didn't I already make a video of someone in a void? Last up is Maggot. The trio is cheering Maggot on, but this lady comes up to them and starts talking down to them. But to the scraps' luck, Maggot starts performing the Maggot on stage, which blows all the judges' minds, literally, and wins the entire competition. Maggot is instantly smothered with cameras and reporters, and all this attention makes him cry. So the trio rushes up to the stage to comfort him. Stone asks the announcer if they can just take the money and go, but the announcer says they have interviews lined up, but Skip asks the announcer as well if they can lay off because Maggot's upset. Vinny yells at the crowd saying that if they lived on the streets, they could show some sympathy towards them, but this reveals the fact that they are scraps of the public, which triggers a genetic response from every rich person to attack the poor. Another genetic response from the rich is to ask to speak to the manager, so the trio had just summoned the Karen, Kyle, and Walter army on themselves. Vinny tells Skip to get Maggot away from the stage, and Vinny and Stone get ready to fight off the horde. Vinny knocks out a person and puts another in a headlock. Skip dodges people trying to tackle him and starts jumping on people to get over the crowd. An old woman with an umbrella comes into Vinny, and Vinny takes out a shiv and they start fighting. She takes off the sheath and kills the lady. A guy tries to jump Vinny, but Stone knocks him out with a bottle and kills him. Stone then makes a Molotov, and then he and Vinny charge the crowd. We cut to Skip running away from the rich, as he dodges and pulls out his mandolin and knocks most of the swarm out. More pull up, but Stone throws his Molotov at and kills them and blows up more people behind him. They regroup but are cornered by the horde. I've just realized I'm making this sound like a zombie apocalypse, but that's basically what this is. Maggot starts glowing and ascending. Turns out, Maggot was a biblically accurate angel. This angel came down to judge the morality of mankind by disguising itself as a baby to see what happens. And to his conclusion, the people of Ramshackle are pieces of shit. He brings his attention to the trio and says that while they are flawed and, as I quote from the pilot, and God forbid you three reproduce, they have good hearts and have good intentions. He bestows upon them 3 cents and a can of beans. He starts to leave, but he quickly remembers he has one last thing to do and smites the entire horde. Now he dips. Vinny screams over the beans, and the episode ends. Overall, I thought this was a nice pilot. It's simple, and it's quick, and I really like how the art style just fits the setting and isn't afraid to have some fun with certain scenes being a little goofy. I also like this little secret where if you turn on captions on YouTube, the subtitles have this really cool art style and font, which fits the show really well. I didn't even know YouTube captions could do that. From what it looks like, the creator of the pilot, ZEZ, I'm probably butchered that name, wants to make more episodes. I don't know what they're going to base the rest of the story off of, so if you guys know, please tell me in the comments, but it's pretty clear that people really do want to see more of this because as of me writing the script, the pilot has almost 3 million views, which is a lot, especially in the time frame. Anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.